live from Midtown Manhattan, Grand Central Terminal, 42nd Street, New York City, celebrating its centennial next year, 2013. The great art ceiling depicting the night sky, and the largest train station in the world. Right next door is Vanderbilt Hall, in honor of the Vanderbilt family, who created Grand Central Terminal, the site for the 2012 Teen Masters Grand Championships. And hello again, everybody. Mike J. Laneside with the bowling guy, Jason Thomas. And we had an unbelievably good opening match with Cameron Doyle and Aaron Uratovich. Uratovich survives the roll-off to go up one game. And now we are ready for our first girls match, featuring the number 1 seed, Ashley Dunn, out of Palmdale, California, and the number 4 seed, Melanie Hannon, out of Cheektowaga, New York. Jason Thomas, you were laneside for that opening match. Quite a thriller here to get things started.
Yeah, that was an incredible match, Mike J. A lot of strategy going on. Cameron Doyle switched up the patterns. He went from the long to the short, decided on the short. Aaron Uratovich and Cameron both had a little bit of nerves going. They threw some balls in the gutter, but they shot decent scores the first game, respectable scores. Cameron pulled that match out, and then in game 2, Aaron Uratovich got comfortable and lined up, put a big number up on the board, and then Cameron wasn't able to hold him off in the roll-off. So Cameron 0-1, Aaron Uratovich 1-0. 2 matches left for each of those players coming up later in our schedule. But now it's time for the girls and our number 1 seed, Ashley Dunn.
And now we're going to throw it down to our sideline reporter joining us today. Called an exciting opening match, and now we're ready for more excitement, aren't we, Elise?
Yes, I'm here with Melanie. How are you feeling? Pretty good. All right, now you had experience right here in the same place last year. What are you going to do and take from what you did last year and use it right now against the number 1 seed?
Hopefully just try and block things out as well as I did last year and try and make my spares.
Does anything feel any different from last year?
I'm kind of a little more comfortable since I did it last year, but yeah.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Thank you. That's Elise Bolton, 3-time member of Team USA, working the sidelines for us here at Grand Central Terminal. And now we're ready for our second best of 2. It is Teen Masters Grand Championships from Grand Central Terminal here at Vanderbilt Hall, New York, New York. Just outside the door there to the left, see those folks walking in. They're coming in right off of 42nd Street. And Ashley Dunn, you see just to the right of Melanie Hannon, as our first girls matchup is set. We've got plenty of action coming up for you today. Coming up next, boys action continues with Jacob Ettinger facing Greg Young. And then the girls return to the lanes with Haley Rubin and Jessica Davies bowling.
Can you give this
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first girls match, Melanie Hannon from Cheektowaga, New York, our number 4 seed, facing Ashley Dunn. Ashley will be up first. Ashley's from Palmdale, California. She's our number 1 seed. The match is best of 2. Bowler wins the first 2 games, the match is over. If they split 1-1, we go to sudden death. 1 ball roll off until the tie is broken. Let's have a round of applause. Let's get them started. Good luck, bowlers.
All right, Gary Beck turns them loose, tournament founder and tournament director here. And Ashley Dunn just tore through the Tournament of the Americas, Mark Spitz style, 7 medals. And Ashley competed here last year. In fact, she's back-to-back champion in the Teen Masters under 14 division, now bowling in the U18 division, as we call it. The force of nature that is Ashley Dunn is about to be unleashed on Grand Central.
Right, Mike J. And she was also second in junior gold as well.
And we're off. First girls match. good opening shot, 4-pin high.
It's a good choice of pattern for Ashley. It's her favorite. Shorter, she can play up the lane. That's what she's exceptional at. And I'm imagining she's going to pick this pattern in every match, and she's going to be tough to beat.
So Ashley Dunn on the board, defeating here last year at Grand Central Terminal in the under division, and there's Melanie Hannon, who competed here last year. So two players who have experience in this setting, and it's an amazing setting. You just heard the sirens and the FDNY go by as we are just steps away from 42nd Street here at Vanderbilt Hall. Astride Grand Central Terminal, opening shot for Melanie Hannon out of Cheektowaga, New York. A couple of decent opening shots, 4 and the 7 for Hannon. Cheektowaga, of course, home of Jack Jurek and Liz Johnson and many other great players from upstate here in New York, as we are downstate in Manhattan. First girls matchup, best of 2. Here's how best of 2 works. If the first of these players wins 2 games, they win the point for the match. If we have a split between each player, 1 and 1, there will be a sudden death roll-off for the match. And we saw a sudden death roll-off to open things up between Aaron Juradovich and Cameron Doyle, with Juradovich surviving here earlier live on Extra Frame. If you just joined us, welcome to Grand Central Terminal, Midtown Manhattan. Mike J. Laneside with the bowling guy, Jason Thomas. Team USA's Elise Bolton is working the sidelines for us today. Ashley Dunn with a spare in her first effort, even here in game number 1 of this best of 2 matchup. And a split, the big 4.
And the short pattern's definitely hooking a lot, Mike J. It's shorter, the ball's going to pick up a lot sooner, and Ashley Dunn's got an advantage in ball speed, so that should give her an advantage of the match, but giving away some count there on the split.
So a mistake there, a couple of pins in count, and 22 open for Ashley Dunn now through 2. Melanie Hannon just getting started with our first girls matchup, best of 2 final. This is game 1. That's Melanie Hannon against top seed Ashley Dunn. Mike J. Laneside, the bowling guy, and joining us now, the winner of that roll-off, Aaron Juradovich.
Nice to be here.
Hey, it's good to have you bowling on Extra Frame, and good to have you now in the booth.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
You did not back down against the top-seeded Cameron Doyle.
No, it was a really good match, and thank God the pins kind of fell my way at the end.
Hey, take us into that roll-off. You had a little bit of room. What was your thought process there in game 2? You had game 2 in hand. What were you thinking heading into that roll-off?
Well, after the first game, I was kind of lost with the Cyclone, and I kind of made a little guess with the pursuit, and I had shim, so I could kind of, I could get it in or I could get it out, and it was kind of just based on if the pins knocked down, and I threw it really good the second game, and in the roll-off, I just kind of focused on just thinking that the game was 15 frames long. Just keep going the same pace and just keep throwing good shots.
And then Doyle comes at you with a couple of strikes. Didn't let it get to you, though.
No, it was really impressive. I mean, he's a really good player, and I honestly, after seeing his ball reaction that game, it was really surprising to see him go up and throw 2 really good shots. But from him, that should be expected.
So spare for Dunn, 22 through 2, spare up in the 3rd, and an 18-pin lead for Melanie Hannon. And Ashley, they're going to the footwear, and we saw you with the shoe brush a couple of times.
Well, I had a friend tell me that they were really dusty, and after the first couple shots, you come back and you look at your shoe, and there's just stuff all over your shoe. So before every shot, I mean, you had to wipe your shoe off just to make sure, everything was going to be fine at the foul line, and you could just post shots up.
So what did you think this first ball in competition? Were the juices flowing a little bit?
Well, I really, my dad's sitting over there, come on, come on. But it's just, I mean, I kind of just really tried to focus and just especially the second game. The first game I was kind of up and out of it and just kind of all over the place and got a couple lucky hits. And then the second game I really just focused on just throwing it good and one shot at a time, and I threw it really good the second game.
What's your assessment here of the girls as we begin this first girls battle?
Well, it's really impressive. I mean, I know Ashley Dunn just came off a really good performance at the Tournament of Americas, and I mean, the way I see it, she's kind of the player to beat, really. I mean, I think she's got the most, she's the most impressive out of all the players, but I mean, that doesn't mean anything here. I mean, really, the best player and whoever can make good shots at the right time, that's who's going to win. It doesn't matter how good you are, just as long as you can make shots when you need them.
Top-seeded Ashley Dunn finds the pocket. First strike for Dunn. 42 through 3 and a strike up in the fourth frame. Look at our scoreboard here at Grand Central Terminal. And you got that big video screen in front of you too while you're competing.
Well, it's kind of one shot in the second game, or in the first game. I was throwing my shot, and about 3 steps in, I kind of caught a little bit of the screen. But other than that, there's not really a reflection. I mean, I don't really notice it during my approach.
Hannon is clean through 3/4 frame. And a strike. So spare strike, spare strike. Did you sneak a peek at yourself on the big screen?
Oh, yeah, there's one shot I got up there, and I kind of look up, and I'm like, I started laughing. And then I threw my shot, and I kind of look at myself, and I'm like, wow. You know, just hoping to make a good shot, really.
So Dunn up with a strike up now, a chance to cut into the lead of Hannon. This is best of 2 matches. 12 preliminary matches will determine our finalists in the championship round tomorrow. If a player wins 2, they win the point. If they split, they'll go to roll-off to decide the match. No love on the 5, so no double for Dunn.
And it was really, I mean, in practice, we had about 30, well, I'd say about 20 minutes on each pattern. And the short pattern, I mean, I wasn't here last year, so I don't know how they played, but the lane was just, it was kind of weird. I mean, the closer to the gutter you got, I mean, the more, almost the more your ball wiggled. And so we really just tried to kind of chase it in a little bit and just find shim so the ball wouldn't dead hook. I mean, it hooks a lot. I mean, even the gutter moving in, the back ends just fly here.
Mental mistake by Dunn, whiffing the 5-pin. 70 open now through 5. And Hannon with a big advantage as the number 4 seed looks to upend the top seed twice.
And, you know, winning the first game is really, I mean, it's kind of really nice if you win the first game, because I think the second game is when you finally start to get comfortable. So for her to come out and throw it this good, other than, you know, I mean, you're going to throw a couple errant shots every game, but just to come out and just, you know, throw it good the first match is really impressive. But I think the second match, both bowlers should be comfortable.
Mike J. Laneside with the bowling guy. Aaron Uratovich, winner of our opening match against Cameron Doyle, joins us in the booth. Melanie Hannon on the 4-7. Nice pick up there. So Melanie stays clean.
And the cool and the unique thing really about all the girls is they're really, I mean, other than a couple of errant shots, I mean, they're really good. I mean, you know, you didn't really see anybody in this tournament come out of it just because they had a good week. I mean, everybody who's really in the top 4 for each division really, you know, coming from Cleveland, really bowled really well. I mean, threw it really good.
Ashley Dunn trails here by 30 pins. Opening game of the best of 2 final. First girls matchup here, Team Masters Grand Championships. Ashley finds it. It's a strike for Ashley. And Aaron, very, very different competition at the Teen Masters. Just 2 choices for strike balls.
Yeah, it made it really, really tough, especially, I mean, now that I've thrown them for about a month and a half, it makes it a little easier. But going into Cleveland, I mean, it's just, they were weird in Cleveland. I mean, the gutter didn't, your ball didn't want to hook off the gutter. So you kind of had to, you kind of had to get a stronger ball and play 5, but then when you missed left, I mean, it just hooked. So it was, you know, it was tough, but there were a lot of times that you kind of just had to make your ball knock 10 pins down. I mean, you know, you make the ball work, but there was just a lot of times where you were so confused. I mean, you just kind of had to guess and just make a good shot and kind of just make the ball get there.
That sounds like bowling.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a pretty grueling 3 days, but now that this has started, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
So spare for Melanie Hannon. She stays clean. She leads by 29 over Ashley Dunn, but Dunn has got to strike up now, working in the 7th frame, and bowling guy Ashley Dunn working with the same bowling coach that Tommy Jones goes to.
Yeah, that always helps, Mike J. And not only Tommy Jones, but Chris Barnes and Mike Fagan and Bill O'Neill. And her results are definitely in that category. She's one of the premier junior bowlers in the world for sure, Mike J.
So Dunn trails by 29, can cut that to 19 with a strike and a double, 7th frame. And she does so.
That was a really good shot. I'm really pretty awestruck that she's making her ball get through the front that well and come off of it from the gutter. I mean, I threw a couple of shots that didn't go in the gutter around 5, and it just everything dead hooked.
What is she doing? What do you see, and how is she able to accomplish that?
Well, I think she kind of wears one of the wrist stabilizers, but really I just see her just trying to just kind of push it through the front, really just kind of not whip, but just really fastly get her arm forward, and I think that just allows her to push the ball through the front really well, and then it's just all about her ball reading the back part of the lane.
Both of these players were here before, as we're at Grand Central Terminal. We've got a special lane built at Vanderbilt Hall, just outside the main terminal here in New York City. And Melanie Hannon stays clean. Now the top seed gets choice of starting position and the pattern. But you had a very important decision as well, didn't you?
Yeah, the top seed gets to pick pattern, and then the lower seed gets to pick the shirt color, because we got new shirts, the red and the black ones. But if the top seed doesn't want to choose lane pattern, it flip-flops. I would have gotten to pick the pattern, and Cameron would have gotten to pick the shirt color. But I mean, really, I don't really think shirt color has anything to do with it. I think every top seed should take advantage of being able to pick the pattern.
Commuters here at the lunch hour, left and right, at Grand Central Terminal. That is Miss Ashley Dunn out of Palmdale, California. 7-time medalist at the recent Tournament of the Americas and 2-time champion here at the Team Masters Under 14 division, bowling in Under 18 this year. So spare for Dunn, 119 through 7, and a spare up. 19-pin lead for Hannon. So Melanie has stayed clean to this point. Ashley Dunn owns the only double, but a split and a missed 5-pin blemishes on Ashley Dunn's scorecard. Best of 2 matchup here in our opening girls match. Team Masters Grand Championships. Just a tad high. 7-pin for Hannon. Now, Aaron, you've got a break until 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, I bowl Jacob Ettinger tonight at 7, I believe. So I've got kind of a break, doing some interviews, and then hopefully just get some lunch. I mean, I'm starving after the first match. I didn't have any breakfast, so it'll be nice to actually eat something.
So Hannon now with the first mistake of her match and an open frame on a single pin, 146 through 8.
Yeah, it's tough because, I mean, I threw my first spare in practice, and my spare ball just dead hooked. I mean, it just right off the lane, and it was like, I mean, so kind of every spare in every match, it was when you picked the spare, it was like, okay, thank God. I mean, it was kind of impressive that both Cameron and me, we both shot. I mean, he shot 2-0 and I shot 190 the first game. You know, coming off all the nerves and just a new environment, it was surprising. I mean, you know, normally you see, you know, I mean, it's so easy to get 5 right now. I mean, if you miss a little left, you can miss so little and get penalized so much right now.
And Ashley, they're having a footing issue, but gets the ball through the swing and splashes the rack.
Yeah, the approaches are really, I mean, it's really dusty in Grand Central, and there's a lot of stuff kind of flying around, and we broomed off the approaches a couple of times in practices just so there was nothing on the bottom of our shoe. I mean, I brushed my shoe after every shot, I mean, because I'd come back and there was just stuff all over my shoe.
It's a single pin for Hannon. She leads by 7 pins, and with a spare conversion she'll maintain that lead. Best of 2 games in these matches to determine our championship finalists tomorrow. No problem with that 7 pin. So Hannon, 7 pin lead, and it's the 10th frame. Dunn with a strike up. She can put 199 on the board and lock up the match.
There's a scoreboard, Mike J. Ashley can strike out 199, as you said, and that would shut it out.
So ball in hand for Dunn. 2 strikes and change will get it done. 10th frame. And the Greek church.
That's that little.
And you had just foreshadowed a 5, didn't you?
That's that little miss. I mean, the second you miss in, and I didn't really play that far right, so I really can't say. But the second you get it in on this pattern, it just reads. So I mean, really, if you can throw a bad shot, I mean, you kind of just want to get it right, kind of quick.
So from a chance to shut out game 1, Dunn wide open, 165.
There it is, Mike J. 165, and now Melanie just needs a few pins.
And I really, next match, I really think she'll come back pretty strong. I mean, after the first match is really tough just to get your feet underneath you. So I think the second match, she should definitely contend.
Strike for Hannon, and that'll wrap it up. Melanie Hannon wins game 1.
Now's the point where you kind of just want to try something. I mean, you don't get a lot of shots, and we really didn't get a ton of practice, so I could definitely see her. I mean, if she thinks she's really lined up, I could see her staying the same. But I could definitely see her trying the pursuit just to see. I mean, you never know. I mean, especially here, we've never bowled on it, so it's really anything could work.
Hannon has game number 1 in hand of this match. A little room here to operate. Brings a 10 pin there. So don't be surprised to see this one not even approach the 10 pin. Little information shot perhaps. So maybe she's lining up for the spare. Certainly the opportunity to throw another strike ball had she chosen.
Yeah.
First
but,
to clean up the wood, 186.
Even at the spare, if I got the chance to shoot a 10 pin and hadn't shot at one, I would have shot at one, just because, you know, if you're used to kind of hooking your spare ball, just kind of, you know, not spinning, but kind of coming around your spare ball. I mean, I had to take everything out of it and just roll the spare ball just so it would just go dead straight at the pin. So that spare, I mean, she could have tried something, but I think she's pretty well lined up for the next match.
Well, 186, 165 winner for Melanie Hannon against Ashley Dunn. And we'll send it down to Elise Bolton with the winner of game 1.
All right, Melanie, you have 1 game under your belt against the #1 seed. What is the key to taking home this win?
Probably just taking it one shot at a time and filling frames.
What is the key that's working for you right now?
Just trying to stay relaxed and making spares.
All right, well, hopefully that keeps working for you.
Thank you, Elise. And There's Ashley Dunn, #1 seed. Folks taking photos here at Grand Central Terminal. Smack dab in the middle of downtown Manhattan. And did you just walk over here from the Marriott Marquis today?
Yeah, it's about, I mean, it's about it's about a 15-minute walk. But the first time I walked in, I mean, the lane wasn't built, but just seeing it was just, I mean, it was jaw-dropping. I mean, we're bowling in a train station. I mean, I mean, there's not a lot of opportunities to come bowl in a train station. I mean, that's the amazing thing about Teen Masters is there's so many new experiences, and there's a lot of stuff that you don't see other places that you get to experience at this tournament.
So Ashley Dunn defeated 186 to 165 by Melanie Hannon. Must win this game to get a roll-off for the match. Two best-of-2 matches. Mike J. Laneside with Aaron Juradovich, who won earlier on extra frame, and the bowling guy, and 8 count and a double wood for Ashley Dunn.
Really, I mean, I really think that kind of moving left a little bit. I mean, it's odd to not play the gutter on the short pattern, but it looks really tough right now to kind of get your ball through the front and come off of it at the right time. I mean, because if she misses a little left, I mean, it just, you know, you saw the Greek church on the 10th, and then she got that one a little right, and it just didn't really come off of it at the same time. And it's just, I think if she jumped in and kind of hopefully caught a little bit of the hold, maybe she could get her ball through the front a little better.
That's funny, because I was actually going to suggest just the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, which kind of shows you
well, it's
all
really
the different options you have on these patterns.
Yeah, it's weird because, you know, I thought the same thing. My first couple shots, I mean, I threw 1-2 and one even went in the gutter. And I moved, you know, oddly, you would never move left on a short pattern, ever. I mean, I never would. And I moved left a couple shots, and I found a little hold in the front of the lane, which was really weird. But, you know, I kind of played with it, and my ball actually went through the front really well. So it was pretty surprising. But, I mean, when you get hold on the short pattern, I mean, you just have to take it and hope that it stays for your match.
Melanie Hannon up a game on #1 seeded Ashley Dunn. You're watching live coverage of the 2012 Teen Masters. We're live at Grand Central Terminal, Vanderbilt Hall, New York City. And open frame for Hannon. 9 out.
Now, you know, maybe because you have a lot more rev rate than Ashley, that might be an option for you. But I think if she gets in, she's not going to be able to get the ball around the corner.
Yeah,
and it's still going to hook if she misses left.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the other thing. You know, when you only have 2 bowling balls, you know, normally if you start black tinning, you can kind of just, you know, ball change and hopefully something goes through the pins harder. And, you know, if she can move farther right and kind of get her hand in the right place and get it off of the, you know, get it off of the gutter at the right time, I really think that, you know, she could either move left and find hold, or, you know, just kind of move right and just hopefully let the ball store energy and just hope it goes through the pins.
I mean, that one, she threw it just like she wanted to, and she left a 5-8 in the pocket.
Yeah.
From out. I mean, she can't create any more angle.
Yeah. Well, and it's tough when you don't. I mean, you know, most of the time straighter's greater, but when you have rev rate, I mean, you can kind of, if your ball's not getting through the pins, you can kind of, you know, grab it a little more and make it go through the pins. But, you know, her move really, I mean, she can move right and get closer to it and kind of just jam it in the pocket and, you know, hope she knocks 10 down, or, you know, get a little left and try and find some hold. But, I mean, normally there's not hold on a short pattern, so it's just kind of really just hitting the pocket on this pattern because, you know, it's so easy. It's so easy to get 5. I mean, you miss 1 and it's gone.
It's Melanie after the open frame up to the second, recovers with a strike.
And Melanie looks like, because she doesn't go as end over end as Ashley.
Well, and that's something else I saw earlier. You know, she doesn't spin it, but she gets around it a little bit more, which, you know, when you get around it, it helps your ball get through the front. And I even think it's getting through the front better, but it's storing more energy. I kind of think that's why her ball's just getting through it a little better.
Ashley Dunn trails by a game. A short lead here in game 2, trying to force the roll-off. 18 in the first, spare up third frame.
And that was, I think, on that shot, she might have moved a little right, which, I mean, she kind of threw the ball through the front of the lane, and then it was just all about the ball getting through the pins. And it went through the pins really well.
So number 1 seed Ashley Dunn, strike in the 3rd frame. 9-pin lead over Melanie Hannon. But Hannon now with the strike up, take the lead right back. She's looking to go 2 and out and earn a first point here.
The number 4 seeds are taking it back.
Oh, good shot, ring 10.
And even from that shot, I mean, I even think she missed like maybe 1 or 2 in it because, you know, she kind of gets around a little more. I definitely think the ball pushed, and I mean, you know, getting 9 is nothing to be angry about. I mean, 9 spare is really good right now.
And we're speaking to the other number 4 seed in the boys division, Aaron Juradovich, who dispatched the number 1 seed on the boys side, Cameron Doyle, and earning your first point, putting you in a good position.
Yeah, you know, we talked about it yesterday. Just, I mean, you have 3 matches, and I mean, if you lose your first match, I mean, you know, Cameron, it wouldn't surprise me at all if he won the next 2 matches. I mean, I mean, coming off before the roll-off, I mean, he was his ball reaction just wasn't going through the pins really well, and it didn't really get to the spot the right way. So it was really it showed a lot for him to get up and just really pack 2 in a row. I mean, that was really impressive on his part.
Wiggle on the 7. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. LMFAO 7 there.
And I think she finally got far enough right and kind of boosted her speed up, so now it's just hit the pocket and hope it just kind of blows them back.
So Dunn picks up the spare. Hannon now up a game here. Best of 2. If you just joined us, you're watching live coverage of the Teen Masters Grand Championships. Our opening preliminary matches. Boys match 1 just occurred live. Aaron Juradovich joins us in the booth, beat Cameron Doyle. And now Melanie Hannon up.
And, you know, something that really impresses me that, you know, I mean, you're always told to be really solid at the foul line. A lot of the girl bowlers, I mean, they're so solid at the foul line. You never see them fall off. You never see them come out of a shot. It's really impressive that they just stop. I mean, you know, we get kind of fast, and I mean, it's so easy to come off of a shot, but it's really impressive to see them have such good balance at the foul line. And something else I really like that she's just taking her time. I mean, there's no rush. I mean, there's a match at, 2? But there's no rush. I mean, just get up, take your time, make sure there's nothing distracting you, and just make your good shots. That was really good.
So Dunn picks up the strike, 78 through 4. And an 11-pin lead against Melanie Hannon. Dunn needs this game to force a roll-off. These are best of 2 matches. In the event the players split, there will be a roll-off for the point. And Aaron Juradovich earned a point earlier against Cameron Doyle in a pretty intense 3-round roll-off.
Yeah. I think somebody even told us that that was the longest roll-off that's ever happened. So it was, I mean, I just kind of focused on the game was 15 frames long. I mean, it didn't change. You know, get up, take your time, make a good shot, and just really keep the good tempo going. I mean, the last shot, I kind of got up on it and kind of got around it and was really fortunate to strike. But I mean, just take your time, 1 shot at a time. That's my only advice.
Well, Aaron, it looks like the pocket for these girls right now is about the width of a sliver.
Well, you know, this is definitely the tougher of 2 patterns, because I mean, if you get it right, it hooks. If you get it left, it hooks. I mean, it's a tough pattern. And I mean, seeing 9 spare, 9 spare, 8 spare, 9 spare is definitely not a bad thing on the scoreboard. I mean, it's so easy right now to big four, to throw it out the window. I mean, gutter. I mean, I guttered the first match, it bounced off my ankle, but it's just so easy to miss, and just your ball just goes everywhere.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Scott Newell on the PBA Tour did that in an extra frame tour final and went on to win the event. So there is precedent.
Yeah, well, you know, it was funny because, I mean, Cameron, I mean, he had like a 5 or a 6 bagger in practice, and he gets up and I don't know if he lost focus or if it was just a noise or something and guttered, and I was really, really surprised, and I got up in the 5th frame, I think, and just kind of bounced off my ankle, got a little fast, and you just kind of have to take it as, okay, I split. Or, you know, definitely don't think that, oh man, I guttered. Just move on to the next frame and just think of it as, okay, I split, move on. Because if you take, you know, if Ashley takes that 9 open into the next frame, I mean, in the last couple weeks, if I've left a single pin spare and missed it, the odds of me leaving that same spare the next frame is, it's really high. I mean.
Well, you know, right now with missing the spare, I mean, the strategy is, you know, you're hitting the pocket, just make your spares, but then you start missing and you get behind. She's got that other ball to go to. If she gets behind by a little bit too much here, it might be time to think about making the ball change.
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you're not lined up on this, there's really, you know how to play the lanes. You got to play, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your ball's not seeing the lane right, don't throw it. I mean, don't, I mean, it's bad to say don't try and make it work, but try it, because you never know. You may stumble onto something that you may strike out with the next ball. So it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, missing the spare, that could have just been a mental mistake. But if she split a couple of times, I could definitely see her moving to the other ball.
And she is throwing the more aggressive of the two pieces of equipment right now. She's got, the ball is more aggressive. It looks like she's got a little surface on it, and the pin's down. I can't really tell what the pin's up, actually.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty high pin, and I mean, on the short when we were in Cleveland, when the gutter didn't hook, I threw the pursuit all at match play, and that was a really good shot by Ashley. And I threw the pursuit just, I mean, you couldn't get around it too much. You kind of just had to get your hand up the back of it and just kind of hope the ball rolled in the front, or kind of hooked in the front and then just stopped. And just, you really hoped that it went into the head pin the right time to knock all 10 down, because it was so easy to get up the back of it too much and just watch it roll out and 10 pin.
And it looked like your layout on the pursuit was pretty weak. It was like a stacked layout with the pin up and about 5-inch.
Yeah, you know, we worked on the balls before, you know, I mean, about 2-3 weeks before we left for Cleveland, and we had 2 game plans. It was either we were going to drill both balls the same. That was a really good shot. I think she got that in, but she found a hold, and it went through the pins really well. But, I mean, our game plan was either to drill the balls the same and just kind of stay safe with the balls, or it was kind of, you know, just do a little guessing, you know, drill the Cyclone to roll a little bit, and you know, just kind of make the pursuit a little stronger, and we went with that. And I really think it helped, because when the pursuit worked most of the time, but when it kind of didn't read it the right way, I had something completely different to go to, and I think that really helped.
The lead of Ashley Dunn is down to just 3 pins. Strike up, 8th frame. She trails a game here in the best of 2. Double for Ashley Dunn. Quality double.
Yeah, and I think she amped up her speed a little bit, and I think that's definitely kind of make her hit a little more, but it's making it go through the pins a lot better, I think.
Interesting, every time we go to that back shot, you just see different folks stopping by. We are literally steps away from 42nd Street in Midtown Manhattan. One of the coolest bowling venues you'll ever find. Teen Masters Grand Championships at Vanderbilt Hall, just outside of the main Grand Central Terminal here in New York City. Melanie Hannon is up 1 game to none over Ashley Dunn, and is working on a strike here, 8th frame.
That's way in.
Yeah, and definitely after that, you know, kind of bad shot, only, you know, leaving 9 is really refreshing to only, you know, I mean, you let go of a bad shot, and you kind of blink, and it's like, You know, you could get 5 or 6.
Please get more than
yeah,
6.
you know, knock 9 pins down, please.
Something makeable.
Yeah, yeah. And walking back, after throwing that shot, she feels really good to just spare and walk back. And you know, you're gonna throw it bad. I mean, you want to throw it really good every shot, but you kind of, you know, you hear a noise or the approach, or you come out of it. So for her to spare there is, you know, really good.
So Ashley Dunn trails a game. She's got a double working here, 9th frame in a lead against Melanie Hannon. Needs this game to force the roll-off for our first girls match. Coming up next, boys action. Number 2 seeded Jacob Ettinger will face the number 3 seed Greg Young. 9th frame for Dunn. Didn't like it, and a 6-9.
Same thing, just got it way in, and lucky just to leave a makeable spare.
Yeah, I mean, it's... after I guttered, I mean, I got it in, and I was like, oh, got 6, I think. And it just, you know, you throw a bad shot, and you just hope and hope and hope that you can leave something that you can make. And that's really interesting that she went all the way right and kind of threw her plastic ball up about 7 to make the spare. You know, normally when you leave right side spares, you move left, but that's pretty interesting strategy.
Well, another close match. Ashley Dunn opened in the 10th last game to give Melanie Hannon a 1-0 lead. She has to win this game to send it to a roll-off. Melanie Hannon trying to set herself up for the 10th. She's still got a possible 213. Ashley Dunn, possible 204.
Wow.
Yeah, it looked like now that the oil's pushed down a little bit, it's just given her that much, an extra foot or two to get her ball going before it kind of loses its energy and hits flat.
Well, definitely. It looks like she can definitely kind of, you know, with her release, she can kind of skid it through the front. And if she can kind of skid it to about 5 down lane and just let the ball kind of spin off of it, I mean, I think definitely with her rotation, she's got more of an advantage with pin carry. But I think if Ashley just kind of pipes it up, you know, 3, 4, 5, I definitely, you know, the harder the ball hits the pins, the harder it's going to hit. So.
Yeah, she definitely went with the extra gas on that one.
Yeah. You say or get it a little right, and I mean, it's the gutter hooks, but when you're kind of just coming up the back of it, when you get it fast, you kind of don't hit it as hard, and it goes right, and it kind of rolls out too early, and it just doesn't make it back.
So with a spare and a fill, Dunn shoots 192. Hannon can shoot 203.
This is a huge, huge spare right here, Mike J. And it's not the easiest spare in the world.
This is probably one of the hardest spares right now.
Well done.
Yeah, the 2-8 right now, with as much as they're hooking, I mean, it's picking that spare is like throwing 3 in a row.
Here's a look at the scoreboard one more time. 192 is the best Ashley Dunn can shoot. That means Melanie Hannon would need a double to lock up the match. We also have a possibility of a tie in this game, which would be interesting. We'd have a roll-off for the game, and then if Ashley Dunn were to win, we'd have another roll-off for the match.
Yeah, I can really see a lot of roll-offs in the future. I mean, there's already been one in the first match, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was another one.
So 190 for Ashley Dunn.
And you know, 190, I mean, that's, I mean, what? 1 open, 1 mishap on the spare, but 190 is a really good game. You know, the first couple games being uncomfortable, I mean, 190 is a really good game.
So Hannon needs the first hit. Must strike. And she can avoid a roll-off altogether. A game ahead, looking to extinguish the top seed, 10th frame.
It's got to push.
Oh, it did. Strike.
Wow.
For Hannon.
That was a really good shot when she needed it.
All right, so 8 spare, Mike J, and she'll wrap up the match with no roll-offs. So we went from having possibly 2 roll-offs to none.
And I mean, it's really impressive for her to come out of the gate and just throw it really, really good.
Work to be done. 10th frame. Crossover 7
Wow.
counts a loser.
No, it's not. We can have a tie, Mike J.
You are correct. She needs all 3.
And
Back to
this,
2 roll-offs again, guys.
and
back-to-back
this,
roll-offs.
This spare is definitely not the easiest spare right now.
One of the plastic ball.
That was a very, very good spare when she needed it.
190, 190. So first we have a roll-off for
the game.
number 2.
And Ashley has to win it to send it to another roll-off.
We'll send it down to Tournament Director Gary Beck.
He's probably consulting the rule book right now. Like
Okay, which roll-off, when, how many shots?
Wasn't planning on this happening.
So there he is, tournament founder Gary Beck. This Teen Masters program has been around for quite a while. Produced some great champions over the years. And we will see another one here live on Extra Frame this year. Last year, Zakatori went back-to-back in the over 18 high school division.
It'll definitely be very interesting to see. I think Ashley gets the pick who goes first. Or will it be Melanie since she won the first game?
Probably Ashley with the
It'll
higher
definitely
seed.
be interesting to see, because I mean, you want the pressure on yourself or do you want all the pressure on your opponent? Which is, I mean, I think is really important right now. I mean, who do you want the balls? Who do you want to be throwing the shot for it, really?
So we'll await the decision of the roll-off and who begins. That's Ashley's dad behind Miss Dunn.
You know, that's another thing, Aaron. I was a junior bowler, and I was talking to Mike J the other day, and people don't realize how much of a sacrifice it is for the parents to take you to tournaments every weekend.
Well, and you know, other than just them giving their time, I mean, financially, I mean, it's definitely not cheap. I'll tell you that. So for just the opportunity to go out and bowl, I mean, it's really nice that I can kind of give it back to them with, you know, coming to Grand Central. But it's really good.
Tie in game 2. To break the tie, we will be bowling a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. So Melody, since you were leading, you led off this game, or Ashley led? Ashley, you'll bowl first. 9th frame, then 10th frame.
All right, we're going to get a 9th and 10th frame roll-off here by rule. That the game roll-off would be a 2-frame roll-off, with the match being a 1-frame roll-off.
Yeah, and it'll definitely. It's interesting because, I mean, you kind of, my thing is just make it like the game was 15 frames. Don't take anything any different. Don't add any extra pressure on yourself, and just kind of throw good shots.
That one inside a target and catches the break.
Not a good shot, but a good result.
And you know, that's the thing. I mean, it looked like she missed maybe 1 or 2 inside, and it just hooked. And you know, it's really lucky that she kind of twirled the 9 out. But for her, you know, all she's feeling is, yes, you know, I struck. Now she's got to do it.
So we've got a 9th and a 10th frame roll-off to decide game 2. Melanie Hannon is up. She has game 1 in the bag, looking to avoid the overall match roll-off by winning this roll-off. Down a strike here. And 4-pin.
Just the last couple shots have just been a little bit in.
Yeah, and you know, you can kind of make the little move, but you don't know if you want to move left on the short pattern or boost your speed up. I mean, it's such a guessing game because, you know, there's so many different things that you can do.
Yeah, she's not going to have any hold if she moves in, and she also probably doesn't have enough rev rate and speed to get the ball around the corner.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of, the couple really good shots that she threw, she kind of, I mean, I don't want to say spin it, but she kind of gets around it a little more, and she kind of, I don't want to say spun it, but kind of, I would say spun it to 5, really, and it just kind of read 5 and then went through the pins, and I really think if she can do that, kind of get it to, 5, 6, that shot was around 8. If she can get it to 5, 6, I think it's going to go through the pins really, really good.
Well, let's see if Ashley can take advantage of that. Brooklyn. 10th frame.
Roll off for game 2. And again, Ashley having problems, but catches.
That's really good taking advantage for her to take advantage off of the Brooklyn, because, I mean, she has to win the roll-off to win the game, and she had to win the game to go to the roll-off to get her point. And, there's only 3 matches, so, I mean, you can lose a match. Everybody's, somebody will probably go 3-0. But, when you lose a match, you can't get mad about it. You kind of just have to regroup and just kind of take it out on your next opponent, really.
So Dunn can put the roll-off away here, earn game 2, even the match, and force the sudden death roll-off.
That, I mean, from here, that looked really good.
And from there, that looked really good.
Yeah.
Well, Mike J just needs to keep it on the lane now. Stay behind the foul line, and she will advance to another roll-off.
Yeah.
1 ball roll-off
and
for
I'm
the match.
surprised that, even though she's kind of found it with this ball, that she's not, I don't even think she's thrown the Cyclone at all, but, when you're given an opportunity to try another ball, try it. Because you never know. I mean, now she's kind of lined up. I think she's kind of relaxed a little bit, but, I wouldn't waste the opportunity to just see another ball go down the lane.
Perfect. 60 for Ashley Dunn. She's going to win game 2. The match is even, but a very important 10th frame nonetheless for Melanie.
Oh, yeah.
Hannon.
I mean, now for her, I mean, she's kind of lined up, but since she knows she's already lost the roll-off, I mean, trying another ball or, inching her feet a little bit left or a little bit right, it doesn't, I don't think it's a bad thing, definitely, to try anything right now.
So Hannon with room to spare here. There's a game apiece. There will be a sudden death roll-off for the match and a little bit of opportunity to figure out what she wants to do. Where's your position on sudden death roll-offs? Do you like to start? Do you like to go second?
Well, I started the roll-off with Cameron. I was lined up, or did I start? Yeah, I started. I didn't really want to give him time to, think about it because he was kind of iffy on his ball reaction. But, the mindset I was in was really just okay, I'm going to get up, I'm going to put my feet in the exact same spot, I'm going to get set, I'm going to take a deep breath, and then just kind of push away. And after that, as long as I started the same every time, it was most likely a pretty good shot off my hand.
So now we go to sudden death. 1 game for Melanie Hannon, 1 game for Ashley Dunn. As we saw in our opening boys match, this first point will come down to a sudden death roll-off. Aaron Uratovich defeated Cameron Doyle in our first roll-off for the first point. So Uratovich 1-0, Cameron Doyle 0-1. And here's Tournament Director Gary Beck.
We are at 1-1. We now move to sudden death roll-off. Highest count will win. We'll bowl until we break the tie. Ashley is the number 1 seed. You have your choice of whether to bowl first or second. Ashley Dunn from Palmdale, California will be bowling first. If they tie, they'll keep bowling until the tie is broken. Winner wins the match and receives 1 point. Let's give them a round of applause. Good luck.
And I think that's pretty gutsy. I mean, she's coming off a really, I mean, she packed 3 other than the Brooklyn, but she packed 3 in a row. I mean, she's kind of just riding that momentum. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she threw it really good right now.
So Dunn elects to start the sudden death roll-off for this opening match in the girls under 18 division. 9 count.
And 9 is still, I mean, 9 is really good right now.
So a very similar situation to what we saw in the opening match. Number 1 seed with a 9, and the number 4 seed with an opportunity to win.
He really, I mean, he's really impressive. I mean, he came off kind of his ball wasn't going through the pins really well, so he really threw a really good double at me, and it's just all that should go through her mind right now is just, you know, stay slow, hit your target, you know, the normal things. Nothing
Strike
changes.
To claim it. Crossover 8. Dunn survives the roll-off. Wow.
And that shows you, I mean, how fast it can change. I mean, it looked like Melanie was really locked in the first game, and I mean, her ball reaction was really good, but it's just that one little miss. And, you know, I wouldn't, yeah, she lost a match, but I wouldn't get down. You know, there's still 2 more matches.
And there's Gary Beck announcing to the crowd our next match.
And that should be a really interesting match. I think we might. I don't know what pattern Jacob's going to pick, but it'll give us a little look if they put long down at the long pattern. I mean, we only got about 10 minutes on the long pattern, so it'll be kind of interesting to see, you know, how they play and where it goes.
Yeah, I assume you'll be a rather interested party watching that practice.
Yeah, it's, you know, I mean, in practice, it's, you know, this is completely different. You know, we know nothing coming into here, so seeing every shot is really, really important. And, you know, even what ball they're using. I mean, both balls are completely different, so, you know, it's just, you know, what ball did he use? If he missed a little, what happened? You know, how's carry? I mean, everything's a factor.
And we're going to send it to Elise down lane side with a chat with the winner of this first girls match. Elise.
All right, Ashley, you just captured the win for that. You started off in that roll-off. What was your strategy going into that?
The roll-off, just stay calm and try to put together shots.
Was there a particular reason why you wanted to go first?
Not really. Just try to get my shot out of the way and let them know what they have to do.
All right, now you have quite a while till you bowl again. What are you going to do for the rest of the day to prepare for that?
I'm going to just rest, go eat, just get my mind together.
All right, winner of the first girls match. Back to you, Mike.
Thank you. That's Elise Bolton, 3-time member of Team USA, joining us